Hey guys, wanted to come on here and do a video. I just got here. I ended up dropping off my son at FSY. He had a little late check-in, and for those of you who don't know and who need a little bit of information, you can find the information, like the phone number to call to check in and check out, on the dashboard. You have to go to your member account, and then there you go and you click on FSY dashboard. And when you do that, you select the name of your child that is registered in the program. And so then it'll lead you to where it tells you at the bottom, it'll tell you check in and check out, and it gives you a phone number there. I thought you could just click on the app and then it would do it, but no, you have to actually call. So I have the number already on my phone, so I'll just save it there. We were outside. It was so ugly and muggy and gross. And my son and I were like, oh. So we called the front desk. When you get there, you have like a front desk, like an office. And on the door, it gives you the information to call the front desk or to call for whatever is needed or whatever. But they were going to wait like for 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, it's so ugly outside. I didn't want to wait. Neither did my son. So anyway, the counselors ended up helping us, the leaders, and the counselor walked him to their lunch break. So my son was carrying a little bit of a heavy bag because my daughter had asked me for some water bottles and an umbrella. And yeah, so I got to hear all about it. I asked my son how it was first day for him. He was like 50-50, but he wasn't upset, which is good. So I think that's progress. He did good. He made some roommate friends. What else? He did say that he felt like it was too hot outside, and honestly, it is super hot outside, but he pushed through. I'm super proud of him. My daughter did text me last night, and she did tell me that the rain caught them, her and her cousin, because they're in the same group, and they were running for dear life. And yesterday was pretty ugly. So I was worried. I had texted her. She didn't answer me right away. And then later on, she ended up texting me. She told me that the rain caught her and her cousin, and that she looked back to find out where her cousin was, and she's like, don't stop, keep going. And so they were running for dear life. She, I guess, forgot her jacket, and so they got wet. But I sent her a text and I told her, even in the rain you can find joy. So I told her those are going to be some memories for her. They're going to have some memories that they get to cherish together. They're roommates, and they get to have that memory together. And so that brings them closer. And so I just kind of reminded her. I could have been like, I know, and I could have been like, oh, my poor baby, she got wet and this and that. My husband, I was telling my husband about it, and my husband was like, it's just a little rain. It's just a little water, Rudy. And so I just told her, I tried to be as, knowledgeable, or as I wanted to share some wisdom. I said, even in the rain, you can find joy. And I was saying that from experience, because sometimes the rain just keeps on pouring and it comes down really, really hard, and it doesn't feel good. But when you look back at it and you get to see clearly down the road, you get to look back and you get to see that you were able to find joy in that, because something good is coming. You just got to wait for it. So she's experiencing that. She was all pumped about going to FSY. So she's got to take the good with the bad. And there are life lessons that the world has to teach her, that, me and my husband try to give her a lot of comfort at home, and she has air conditioning and she has everything she needs here. But she was the first one to get packed and ready to go. So she's got to roll with the punches, and she's got to remember that she's not always going to have mommy and daddy. And so when mommy and daddy are not there to provide certain things, she's got to learn on her own. So life is teaching her about being prepared when you go, because she knew the weather was going to be not the greatest. I had told her to take the umbrella. She didn't listen to her mother. She's like, nah, I don't think I'm going to need it. So she left it. So then she asked me for that. I told her, do you need some Tylenol? She didn't take that either. So, she did lose her water bottle because I guess the rain caught them also. And so I told her, don't worry about the water bottle. You don't have to go back. I'll just get you some. So I sent Remy with some extra water. And so Remy, I vow with, carrying the heavy backpack because he's taking the umbrella for her. He's taking the water bottles for her and her cousin. And she didn't get the Tylenol. I didn't send her any Tylenol because they have some there, in case they need some. So I did tell her to ask for some. With parents' permission, they're able to get some. So she's having to learn some life lessons without her parents. And I guess that's what it's all about. They get a lot of devotionals. My son was telling me about the devotionals they had going on. My daughter says that they always have really great food. My son was kind of like, he wasn't feeling the food yesterday. He said some of the pasta was cold, but at least they gave him food, which we're grateful for. So he had some lunch with me right now. I told him if he wanted me to just take him to lunch to see what they had, and he was like, but he'd rather eat with me. So he ate with me right now, and then I dropped him off. So now I have to do a little bit of work. But I know that they are fine. They're being taken care of. I was talking to his leader, which is his counselor, and he's really tall. My daughter says that they're all missionaries, that they were all assigned to help there. And so he really did look like a missionary. He was really tall, thin, really sweet and nice, very quiet. He mostly talked to the other female leader while they were trying to get him in. There was a lot of locked doors. But anyway, we ended up getting there to his room, dropped off his things. I didn't know he had a roommate, because my son usually wants his own room, and they've been accommodating him the past 2 times, but this time he actually has a roommate. So I got to go in his room, and I got to see that he had a roommate. I don't know. He didn't share that with me yesterday. So anyway, we're out walking on our way back so that they can take him to have lunch. And I asked the leaders, I'm like, so how are you guys liking this weather? and his counselor ended up saying, it's interesting. So I just started laughing. And she was like, well, I'm usually pretty cold, and I think she appreciates a little bit of the warm weather. She's like, I won't have to take a jacket because I'm going to Texas. And so I'm like, yeah. And he was just like, it's just interesting. I think he was trying to be really nice about it. I'm like, well, I think it's gross. You don't have to try to be nice with me. It's gross. I don't like it. And so anyway, they're super nice, and they're like, well, you don't have to worry about it. We'll walk them from here. And I'm like, oh, they're super sweet. Anyway, so my son is on his way to lunch, and hopefully he finds a good dessert. I still sent him with a few snacks and some things to keep him going, because he's being a pretty great sport this time around, and he's pushing through, and I'm quite proud of him. It's teaching him tolerance. It's teaching him patience. It's teaching him to do hard things. Both of them, right? But my daughter has it a little bit easier because she has her cousin, and so they get to be more, Rem's the one that has to get out of the box more because he doesn't have his cousin there. He has cousins there because I saw them, but he just doesn't really know them. I would need to introduce them to him. I need to be introduced to them because I don't really know them either. I know my cousins, but their kids I haven't really met. And so we're just related to so many people that it's really hard to keep track of everybody. I just told him, if you see anybody with the last name Duran, De Anda, Escamilla, I was trying to think of all the other ones, Gonzalez, if you start seeing all these people, they're probably related to you. So anyway, I'm just glad that they're being good sports about it and they're trying. And anyway, life lessons for sure. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Remember that even in the rain, you can find joy. It's quite ugly outside and quite unbearable. I feel for them because I would not want to be doing that. But it's something that sometimes you need to teach them because they don't really have a lot of that. They're always in air conditioned. They're homeschooled. They have the good life. The life my dad gave me. He gave me the good life. I went to school, though. I went to public school. I had to learn, you know. They have it a little bit easier because it's homeschooled, you know. I feel it's a privilege for them. I think it's a gift for them. I think they are very blessed, but they still get a lot of life lessons that I didn't get to have, like FSY. That wasn't around in my time. And even if it was, my dad really didn't let me go to like camps and things like that. He barely let me go to any dances. Like half the time my aunts had to try to convince him. They would have to have long talks with him and convince him to let me go. So I'm trying to be different. It's hard for me though. It's hard for me to let them go, but God has been holding me by the hand and he's been teaching me that he's going to provide a way for them. And he surrounds them with people that I can trust and people that I feel confident about that will watch over them. And so that is why I've been learning to let go more. Now I know what my dad felt like. Having to let us go because he was a very protective person. He was a very protective individual. And so it's hard. It's hard to be a parent and let these kids go because you want them to make the best choices. But at the same time, you got to let them live. You can't cage them up in a golden cage and expect them not to experience anything because then they won't have any stories to share. And then I was talking to my husband and my husband was over here saying his remarks and sometimes my husband doesn't measure the things that he says. He, because he did a lot of things in high school, he says some things that I don't agree with because I'm like, you're pushing the buttons, bro. Your kids are walking the fine line and you should be grateful that they walk such a fine line. And here you are, the parent that you are, you should be keeping them on the straight and narrow path. But no, you're telling them, you should be going here, you should be going there. I'm like, mira, en vez de I'm trying to keep them, you know, in line. I'm trying to keep them on the straight and narrow path. And my husband, no, mi husband quiere que le den pa' acá y que le den pa' allá. And but I guess that's how my husband learned. And he wants them to have stories like he does. Stories that I don't think he should be very proud of, but he has stories. I have some stories. They're not as bad as my husband's because I had to walk the fine line. You know, I didn't do a lot of the things that my husband did, but then again, he was a boy and I was a girl. And so girls are always more protected than boys. I am the same way. I let go of my son a little bit more than I do my daughter. My daughter, I have her more, but she's the one that fights me a little bit more. She's the one that asks for more. And I'm like, oh, but I try to let go a little bit more just because I don't want to, I see her face and I feel like I'm disappointing her. Like I don't let her go enough, but I'm trying to keep her as safe as possible. And I'm trying to keep her, safe is what I want. I want her to be protected and I don't want her to ever feel any type of, I know pain brings us a lot of life lessons and eventually she's going to have to learn a lot of painful things. And I'm not saying she hasn't learned anything. Sure, she has. She doesn't say a lot of things probably to me about it, but anyway, it's just easier to kind of let go of the guys than it is the girls, you know, because you always want to protect them. And so my husband, he has some things that sometimes are just like, but that's why my brother tells me, the wise brother that I have, he says, let Rudy be the one to teach them. Let Rudy be the one to teach them all those things. And I know that my husband has more experience than I do in a lot of things, a lot of life out there. But I like to live in my bubble. Even though I probably hated it when I was a teenager, I probably hated it and pushed back a little bit on my dad. But I'm grateful that he protected me as much as he did now that I'm a parent, that I can see things differently. Because now that I do it. Anyway, I hope they have fun. At the very end of the text, I'm like, hope you had fun. You know? So I'm trying not to dwell on any of the bad things that are being, not bad, but they're just like things that they're going through that are maybe uncomfortable for them. I'm just kind of like trying to give them something positive back. That's what happens when you're in tune with positive things. I have been feeding my spirit so many scriptures and so many positive words, and I've been reading and just taking in a lot of positive things. So that is the reason why, even if they're sharing all these things with me, I get to give them good feedback, right? I'm not like, maybe the first 2 years with my son, que me le hacían cosas, I was like, you know, I get a little bit upset. But now it's kind of like, you know, you gotta go. You gotta go try it. Come on, you gotta go. You're gonna be fine. Come on, you can do it. And just kind of pushing him through. And I have to do a lot of mind work myself on myself. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. FSY 2026. Grateful that the kids have this opportunity. I'm sure they're going to have a ton of stories to share. And I'm just grateful. And I'm in constant prayer, constantly asking the Lord to watch over them, to send angels to protect them, to protect all the kids and to make sure they have a great time. And when you're close to God and you ask him for help, he always helps some way or somehow. And so I hope that they have a great time. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the 411. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update of how things are going. I know a lot of people come here because they want to hear like what's up. Like when people would come and listen to my seminary stories, I have those still up in case you guys want to listen to those. I give you guys a little bit of advice, a little bit of lessons there, a little bit of story time. And right now I'm giving you FSY. Last year I gave you FSY too. So I try to come here and give positive but real feedback. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I'm not going to make it sound all nice and dandy and that everything's perfect, because it's not. The weather sucks. They spend a lot of time outdoors and they probably don't like that, but they make the best of it. So they are doing hard things. But that is what the Lord wants us to learn, to do hard things, uncomfortable things, because those things will also teach you. Can't always be comfortable. If things are always comfortable, you don't have very much growth. And so sometimes things have to happen in our lives to help us grow, to help us progress, to help us think better, like problem solve. And so there's always blessings on the other side. So just always remember that. There's always blessings on the other side. Maybe you can't see it clearly right now, but when you look back, you'll see God's hand in it. You'll see how he got you through all that time. And it's happened time and time again for me. And so we have to remember, like the story of Moses when they were out in the wilderness for like 40 years and they were all wandering. and the Lord would provide the manna for them to eat. So he wanted them to rely on him daily for their food. So that is how he wants us to be, to always lean on him, always always look to him for that help that you need. And so that is what I feel God has been teaching me more and more now, to just always rely on him. Don't rely on others to try to solve your problems. The world doesn't owe you anything. And for a time there, I felt like people, and myself included, felt very entitled that people needed to help you because you were giving so much. You expect people to give you the same. But really, nobody owes you anything. The people that are in your life, that want to be in your life, they will stay there no matter what. Can't ever force anybody to be in your life. You can't. And that's a choice. So, I have found that God has been trying to teach me that. He's been trying to teach me to lean more on him and not the world. And so that's what I want my kids to learn. And that's why I'm just allowing God to take over, even if it's for a time, like a week, and just be like, hey, here are my kids. Do what you have to do with them, because I teach them a lot here. And I teach them on Sundays too, for Sunday school. But sometimes I gotta let go. I gotta let go for them to just grow and learn from others. Because my daughter came back with such a different mindset, a positive mindset. And she just felt like it was such a great experience for her. So that's why she was ready and packed and ready to go. My son dwelt on it until the very last minute. But he got it done, and he packed and everything. He waited till the very last minute, till the very last day to sign up too. He is a lot like me in a sense where you wait, right? Cause you just never know if things change or whatever, and my daughter's more like of a person who plans ahead of time. She's a lot more like my husband, and Remy's a lot more like me. And so I have a lot of compassion for my son. But he's a great kid. He's a great kid. And so is my daughter. But they're so different. I have to cater to them both differently. They get a different parent. They might both be growing in on the same household, but they are getting a different parent every time, because I can't treat my daughter the same way that I treat my son. I can't treat my son the way I treat my daughter. With my daughter, I protect her more. My son, I let go a little bit, but I still protect him a lot because of the situations he's been in before. With my son, I have to do a lot more talking. I have to do a lot more lecturing. A lot more time is spent with him. With my daughter, it's a little bit, I talk a lot to her, but she's a little bit more like independent, and she's just a little bit more like receptive of the message. That doesn't take a lot of time to get her to the point that I need her to. With my son, I have to give so many different scenarios and so many different things for him to understand what I'm trying to tell him. So they're just both so different, but I love it. I love the experience I'm getting from being their mom. And they both get a different version of Rudy. Rudy loves to pick on Rihanna. Rudy doesn't pick on Remy. Remy and him are like this because of the fact that they just get each other. Remy and him are just, they don't have that, and Rudy and Rihanna are very like, I'm like, otra vez. It's like, so I'm constantly having to be like, hey, yeah, you all stop, And with me and Remy, that's the thing that, we were like that once upon a time, but now we're more like We're more chill with each other. There's more respect. It was like before we would clash because it was like we were so much alike. So anyway, it's just an experience of being a parent. It takes a lot of prayer, a lot of leaning on God, and a lot of letting go now these days, trying to let go and trying to let them experience more. Now that I feel that they have a stronger foundation and they're closer to God, I feel like I can let go a little bit more. I can breathe a little bit more. I can trust God to take over a little bit more. But as they were younger, there was a lot of rearing that had to be done. And so now I feel like I'm in a different place where I can breathe a little bit better. I got good kids. I know I do. I don't need anybody to tell me. And if somebody comes and talks bad about my kid, I know they ain't talking about my kid because I have good kids. They're not perfect. They might make a few mistakes here and there where I have to call them out on it. But for the most part, there's some pretty amazing kids, and they love a lot, and they service a lot, and they are just very unique, and I'm just proud of them. I just love them so much. Anyway, that's your update. That's your message for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I gotta go. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'm trying to do more of these videos so I can be more present, stay more present. Okay, bye guys.